members of the press who have come to this event organized by Economic Development Board of Mauritius. In view, we together with our collaborators, be it from the government, the Ministry of Commerce, be it from the Chamber, be it also from the agency, Zambia Investment Agency, Zambia Development Agency, and all parties that came to that event in Mauritius. So you have listened to our presentation, so if there is any question or any clarification that you will be look, I will be pleased to clarify. Yes?
Maybe just to find out how many Mauritius firms from Mauritius are participating in the forum.
Yes, the operators from Mauritius are more than 10 operators, I think, are present. They are come from different fields. They are manufacturers in different fields. I would call them the risk takers because they want to walk the talk in terms of regional trade. They are in the manufacturing of paints, they are manufacturing of shoes, they are manufacturing of scarves, they are manufacturing of, how you call, caps, a wide range. In the brochure that we have supplied you, you have the contact details and name of all these companies that have come to us. And the idea is the idea to a vision. The vision is to develop a regional supply chain in Africa, to find partnership, to increase intra-trade, to increase exchange. And you cannot, expect the fountain to come to you. You have to go to the fountain. Okay, so we go to the clients, we go to the country that we wish to collaborate, we go to the other parties so that they can see, discover what we are proposing, what the product offer is all about, and the partnership that we are looking for with the different stakeholders in Zambia.
Okay, so my question is also for the Director General as well as for you. What is the economic potential you have identified in the medium term to long term of such a partnership?
Okay, the potential is immense if you are listening to the presentation that we have done. With regards, the vision goes beyond the boundaries of Mauritius or Zambia. The vision is with Africa, have to connect Africa, have to develop Africa. When we are so rich in natural resources, like we can see here also, and as we Mauritius, we are strong in the value addition. So this could be a good blend, a good match, okay, in developing partnership in view to conquer markets and to serve as a region. Africa is a young continent. Africa is having a growing middle class, and Africa needs to industrialize, needs to go up. And when the expertise is next door with a neighbor, with another African island, okay, and we have had our success stories of the last 5 decades or more, and at times is for building such constructive collaborations so that we can come up with quality products that not only go in the shelves of local or market in the regions, but goes on beyond, goes to Europe. With our textile, we are able to manufacture with the major brands in Europe that we are selling since 4 or 5 decades. We are selling to USA. We have reached a level in our denim that we are manufacturing, for example, that we adhere to a number of practices, sustainability practices, usage of limited water, limited chemicals, and we are able to do that, and we can have better collaboration again, okay, with regards to, I give an example of denim, which is something everyone wear. Okay, so this is the way we are looking at it. Please have a seat for those.
Yeah, just to add on to what Geerish has mentioned, the opportunities are huge. Of course, as Zambia, we want to work with as many countries in Africa, Mauritius, one of them. We're inviting counterparts from Mauritius to work with us in the joint ventures partnerships. As already said, we have 1 million hectares of land. We can work together in the cotton value chains, as Mauritius is very good on the downstream. We can work together, structure models of partnerships and joint ventures to make sure that both countries take advantage of the potential that exists in Zambia. Look at where we are positioned, Central and Central Southern Africa, a huge market around us, 8 neighboring countries, and also Zambia is a natural hub for the African Continental Free Trade Area market. So we are ready to work with our colleagues, investors from Mauritius, to take advantage of those opportunities. And also, if you look at the tourism sector, Mauritius heavily endowed with nice beaches. Zambia too, over 24 national parks, Victoria Falls. So the tourists can come to Zambia, stay as long as they should, given their budget, and then continue to Mauritius. It's the African continent that will be benefiting. So we can work together in all those, tourism chains. And of course, in Zambia, we don't forget that we are now working on climate change mitigation and adaptation issues to make sure that our endowments in critical minerals, copper, cobalt, lithium, manganese, nickel, contributing to the green revolution in the automobiles. We are inviting our colleagues from Mauritius to join hands with Zambians so that we can build and process, develop value chains along these critical minerals. So it's important for African countries to work together. Mauritius and Zambia working together in all those areas where we could have comparative advantage. So along agriculture value chains, the manufacturing sector, and the tourism, I see a lot of opportunities and therefore benefits for the two peoples of our country. And the ZDA and the Economic Development Board of Mauritius will continue to work together to forge ahead the collaborations to make sure that our two countries benefit all the way up to the private sector, because the private sector drives the economies of any country. So we'll leverage on that.
Follow-up question, you've mentioned that Africa is a young continent. I think our average age is about 19 or so. What is your word of advice to the youth enterprises that are actually part of this inaugural event and for the events going forward? How do you plan to foster partnerships between the youth of Mauritius and the youth of Zambia?
Well, the energy of the youth, the talents of the youth, the idealism of the youth cannot be ignored. It will be a sin if we don't exploit their talents. They have a lot of talents. I have seen here in Mauritius also a number of young entrepreneurs in the SME side starting. So entrepreneurs are risk takers, are leaders, they create wealth. And in any economy, SMEs are lifeblood of the economy. Okay? So my advice to youth, because not only in my capacity here today as Director of Industry, but also as a former youth leader, is to encourage them, to develop into fully fledged entrepreneur, taking advantages of the different system, what they're offering. The system in Zambia, I'm sure, having offer to enable them, to move up, and the same in Mauritius also, that we're encouraging our youth, in order to get educated is one thing, but also to become, independent young entrepreneur with the objective, to serve the nation and eventually the region.
Okay. And also from you, Director General?
Yeah. I mean, young people, you included, when asking questions. For me in Zambia, I would say take interest in farming. And I think there's something Geerish did mention in his presentation, and of course also going into what's happening in Zambia to change the curriculum. Young people must take advantage of the opportunities existing. Let's not just look for white-collar jobs. Let us be the ones to be the big farmers. Grow the maize, grow the soybeans, grow the wheat, and process and sell. Those are low-hanging fruits for young entrepreneurs in Zambia. You can grow the cotton, process, link up to Mauritius, and take advantage of those opportunities. I have always said, 59 years after independence, we need to focus on growing the middle class so that youth, young people will be looking out for opportunities. Take the risks. Fail, succeed, fail, but take the risks. because that's the future of this continent, Africa. For you, the young people, to take risks in the entrepreneurial space so that you can own companies, run companies, and grow those companies. So the opportunities are so huge out there. Recently, we were in China, and I was told that a lot of those young people, they take risks and get loans. Never mind the interest rates, but take the risks and own something and run it. You may succeed, you may fail, but take the risks. Along the value chain, you become a big conglomerate. You become successful through those, terrains of learning, ups and downs. So let's not be scared of starting something. The opportunities are too many, too many. If only young people in Zambia or Mauritius just take an acre, for example, Zambia, because we have a lot of land, take an acre and grow the maize. When the maize matures, go to the hammer mill and have a bag of milling meal, ground for you. You will not talk about issues of milling meal become a normal price. So there's so much time we have, young people. Let's not roam the streets. Let's take risks and grow something for the good of this economy and the continent at large.
Follow-up
If
question.
I tell you something immediately, among the exhibitors coming, we have among already 3 young entrepreneurs, okay? One engaged in the manufacturing of denim garments, one engaged in the manufacturing of pencil, one engaged in the manufacturing of hats, hats and scarf, okay? So we encourage young people to take their chance and obviously contribute in the development of the country.
Okay, and I have a question. Is this going to be a segue towards collaboration in other areas of the economy, like education, for example, and also financial markets and or research as well?
Well, the role of economic development in our role, this is one directorate industry, but in my presentation we have also give a small brief of what the education sector is doing, what the financial service sector, despite that they have dedicated clusters there. Now, we are sowing the seeds, okay, of a collaboration that we hope will grow. So the seeds are being sown right now, and obviously success, interest from both parties, seriousness from what stakeholders will be doing, will contribute to bring it, to grow it, and to develop it further. So obviously, it's not a one-off.
So probably in closing, I could say that
just one more. You talked about similarities, and we've been talking about potential. So we've been writing about potential, but we are not seeing it realizing. The next thing that we normally see in Zambia, I don't know, Mauritius, is about again the locals complaining that people from outside the country are taking advantage. And all of you have mentioned that in 2030 we need to become prosperous. It's only just 6 years and 2 months to go. What is the aggressiveness that is needed? You also mentioned that this is the second mission to Zambia. When you compare from when you came here in 2019, apart from many other missions that you've done, 2019 and to date, what have you seen different? Because I can see even from behind, you are getting into manufacturing. Maybe what are practical things that you can see that actually now here we have moved from potential, we are now marketing these raw materials into finished product to these various countries, where Zambia also can then you will elaborate more.
Yeah, I was not there in the first mission, which was more a prospective mission at that time. I was not part of that mission to be able to make a comparisons where matters have gone from there to now. But what I can tell you from the desk research that we have been doing from perspective of Zambia and Mauritius and the different fields that we believe there could be collaboration, especially that we say that we are selling partnership, we are not selling a product. One must realize that in Mauritius we talk rising this term, made through Africa. This is what we are trying to put in the mind of our manufacturers, putting in their mind the question of sustainability, and putting in their mind the question of best practice possible. And that's why the company in Mauritius got the number of, recognitions that they managed to get in terms of norms that they adhered. Okay. Now, coming from my view, or from what I could see in Zambia, in the different meetings I've had with different stakeholders, from government, public, or from private, I could find this equally excited about building things, because we are talking at a time where there is a CFTA prevailing, which was not there when the first mission probably came. This is a time where a CFTA has put as target, by which period you need to develop to build supply chain, to increase the transaction exchange between countries. We are talking at a time where the hurdles are being removed, okay? And we are talking of a time regularly that the time has come also for Africa to exploit all their full potential. So I could see a change in mindset. I could see people very excited. I had lengthy discussion with the chairperson of the Lusaka Chamber of Commerce, who was really keen, to see the products that are being exposed in Mauritius and discover more. Okay, it's, when I say to even from the construction perspective, a company manufacturing paints, manufacturing high-end furnitures, manufacturing different type of products of usage, okay, that could be used. So that I could feel. Now, concretely, how this will be developed, that we were discussing prior to this, and how exchange will be done with sort of webinars with the chamber. Delegation will be coming from here, from both private and public, because the proof of the pudding is in the eating. They will have to come and see, visit the enterprises, discuss with the head of the businesses who are there, understand their strategy, their African strategy that they are having. Many of the companies in Mauritius now have developed an African, a regional strategy, okay, how to proceed further, and this will necessitate more exchange, which is required between both the two parties.
When they first came, the system was different. The team is coming from a private sector-led economy, and we're now in that position as a country where the private sector has been given the lead to come into economic transformation as we've been given. So from that perspective, there's now a synergy being created, and they're leading the way. The two development agencies are leading the way and creating a platform for private sector in Zambia and private sector in Mauritius to begin engaging one with another. They have walked the long path to creating an environment where Mauritius is at the pinnacle of economic reviews in Africa. Zambia, which is a unique country, now has the opportunity to learn from someone who has gone way ahead of them. We were just learning a little earlier today that their private sector through the Chamber of Commerce is far much older than ours. So we go to them to learn how to begin the processes of transformation. The question was asked also the role of the youth, but even as we begin to look at the role of the youth, there's that element of a mindset change that needs to begin to actually take place, a paradigm shift. Before the private sector was heavily dependent on government. We depended heavily on government to create initiatives for us. We depended on government to give directions to us. No longer is that the case. Now the opportunity comes in private sector begin to show what you're worth. You develop the economy. You begin to give direction, and we'll stop complaining and do the right thing. So this is the environment that we're in, and this is the environment that we're walking in. We have a tendency in the previous past, and I think we're no longer paying attention to that, where we were complaining about a lot of things. Government not doing this, government not doing that, ZDA not facilitating. The question that was asked by Daily Mail about foreigners coming to take up space. I think Zambia should stop the notion of looking at individuals as being foreigners, but every person who comes in or out is a business opportunity that we need to begin to take advantage of. So we need to have that mindset shift to see what opportunities that we can get. For the youth, it's now the element of innovation, creativity, because you cannot sit on your laurels and say that I'm going to school to go and get a job. You are going to school so that you have creative thinking, critical thinking, to come out into the market and take up your place and provide solutions to the economy that needs your help. This is the most unique, I say, unique country in Africa. We've never taken advantage of our position. A Director General talked about Zambia being independent for 59 years. In that 59 years, we should have had the best industries going, the best financial systems working, because of our land-linked position. Everybody is dependent on Zambia in one way or another, but we are looking with hand in cup to try and get something from someone, not realizing we have a lot to give out. And this is why we keep saying mindset change. And I'm grateful that ZDA and the Economic Development Board of Mauritius have joined hands together through the Ministry of Commerce to bring us together to begin thinking, because now this is the second group of people who have said they're coming into the country for partnerships, collaboration. They're not coming to set up a business and arm's length relationships. It's close. It's a partnership, working together, and making it happen. They said there is a synergy that exists between Mauritius and Zambia, and we need to capitalize on it to take advantage of the great African continent. Both countries are part of the SADC, COMESA, and the East African community, the tripartite. So we've got a huge market opportunity of 800 million. And out of that, people need to eat, people need health, people will have disposable income, so there's room for the tourist industry. The youth need to come into that space, get educated, get trained. Now when we're saying get educated, it's actually get information relating to the various spheres of business that you're involved with and make it happen. Always have an open mind, willing to learn. Don't be a know-it-all, but learn and get out there and take the risks, as Mr. Halwampa has said. And that's what, because risks rewards those who are ready to take that step, and that's what needs to. So it's a paradigm shift. No longer dependency on government, but the collaboration amongst ourselves as private sector.
Yes, if you are okay. Any question, Paul?
So maybe we can just wrap it up, and in closing, I could say that, look, opportunities arise every time and everywhere. The coming of Mauritius to this Zambia-Mauritius exhibition or event is meant to open our eyes so we can be able to see the opportunities. But you see, when you talk about opportunities, opportunities need a mind and hands. If you don't apply yourself to the opportunity, it remains as an opportunity. So this is a time for us to not only look at opportunities and say opportunities are there and somebody else is taking it. We need to apply our minds. As young people, somebody talked about young people. Young people have the greatest time to actually learn, do things, make mistakes, pick up, and be able to create the best that you can. Fortunately, both Zambia and Mauritius have laws and rules that govern intellectual property. Young people have an opportunity to create, as Mr. Lawrence has indicated. Be creative. If you can't be creative, get into whichever space you can that gives you a talent. Don't be scared to go into agriculture. Agriculture is very lucrative, and it is a best place you can try and make mistakes, because it's just the land and everything else that you have. Don't be scared to borrow and put your mind to work, because when you borrow, it gives you a sense of responsibility. You've taken somebody's money and you need to pay back. You work hard and make sure you produce and be able to pay your money back. And agriculture is, you can't go wrong. Everybody eats every day. Everybody wears clothes every day. So grow food, grow cotton that you can actually make clothes out of. There are lots of value chains in agriculture, so let's not be scared. Mauritius is here. They've come with a number of private sector players. Let's all come and see what they have to offer. Let's learn what they have done. Let's buy and sell from them. Let's pick out opportunities that we think ourselves can create business out of, and be able to put in some investments for ourselves, for each other, and when we work together, we will do greater things. I think that's basically what I can say for now.
So just a long closing sentence, because I think we are going to wrap up now, it's
Yeah.
over. My last closing sentence, and appeal to the media to support such initiative, because I believe every party believes in that. Together we build a competitive supply chain. And when you build a competitive supply chain, there's a space not only when we are talking industry. Industry bring a number of industries together that work. Industry bring a number of partners, people in different sectors work, including the media also. So everybody is part of it. So it's a mission for everybody, okay, in our quest, to see a more prosperous Africa that we are looking for. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
We still have an outstanding